Hello there, I'm Jimmy Vegas and welcome to the 9th video in the beginner's guide to Unity 6. This tutorial will cover using the canvas and we'll explore what UI can do for your game. Remember to subscribe and click the notification bell to stay up to date with every tutorial I upload. Feel free to leave a comment and drop a like. I also have a Patreon page where you can help be a part of this channel, and you'll also find all the scripts and the assets to this series there too, along with plenty of other things. You can also now join as a free member. Now, on with the tutorial. So in most games you see these days, you have some form of UI. Whether it is classed as a GUI, UI, or HUD, it's all the same thing. It's whatever is overlaid on your screen. That can be text, it can be buttons that you can click, it can be images, it can be many different things. In Unity 6, to get this on your screen, you need to have something called a canvas that overlays your game. And the canvas is the object that holds all the UI information. Now, in order to get this working correctly, what we need to do is go to Game Object, let's go to UI, and then we can select any one of these that involve a UI element. We could just add in a canvas and an event system straight away, but if we select something from the list, we can instantly have that working. So let's select Text Mesh Pro. When we do that, you should get this if you're using it for the very first time. Now this TMP importer is an object that you import some essentials into Unity 6 to allow you to be able to use something called Text Mesh Pro. And Text Mesh Pro is how we can use text on our screen. Text is probably the most common form of UI that you would see in a game. So obviously we have to click Import TMP Essentials. It shouldn't take too long, just a moment to import. And when it has finished, you'll be given the option to import the Text Mesh Pro examples and extras. You can if you want to, it's entirely up to you. For all intents and purposes, we don't need to do that this time, so we can just close this little TMP importer. Next thing we need to do is we need to establish what exactly has happened at this point. You'll see a couple of objects down here. You'll see Canvas, Text, TMP, and Event System. The event system object and the canvas basically go hand in hand. For example, you can't have a canvas without an event system, or you can, it's just that the canvas won't work correctly without the event system. The event system object is not an object that we really need to play around with too much at this point, because we just need to get some UI elements on our screen. Firstly, we need to make sure the canvas is set to our screen perfectly. To do that, we need to double click our canvas. And that will zoom out quite a lot. Basically the canvas is quite large, but we can arrange that. Firstly, let's go to Game, and you should hopefully see some kind of text on our screen. It doesn't look great, it's a bit out of focus, it's not in the right place. That means that we have to set the canvas. So in order to do that, make sure we select Canvas. And over here in the Inspector panel, you'll see down here we have something called Canvas Scaler. The canvas scaler is basically used to scale the canvas to any screen size and basically make everything fit in perfectly. For example, if you were to play in 4K resolution, you want things to appear on the screen in the exact same place as if you were playing on 1080p or 720. To do that, we need to change the UI scale mode right here and set it to scale with screen size. But it's not quite as simple as that. If you notice now, we zoom in here, our text object that says new text has now disappeared outside of this white rectangle. This white rectangle is the canvas and represents what the screen can currently see. So in order to sort this, we need to set the resolution. Let's set a standard resolution of 1920 by 1080. And we should hopefully see that this text has now appeared inside our screen. If we go to Game, we can see it has indeed appeared just here. You'll notice that it has gotten a little bit smaller as well. That is because of scaling. Next, what we need to do is where we have screen match mode, you'll see it has match width or height. You can select match to match both in the middle. If we were to select this slider, you can see just how much it will try and match towards one axis, either width or height, but we always need it to be perfectly in the middle, so we can set this as 0.5. Now there are plenty of other options within the canvas that you can change, but for basic purposes, for all the basics that you're ever going to need, the canvas is now set up perfectly. So let's have a look at this text object that we inserted. It currently says new text. Let's double click on it. We can zoom in and we can see that we can indeed change several aspects of this text object. Now, one great tool that you can use when dealing with the canvas is called the Rect tool, and that's this little square object here. If we select it, you'll notice that this object now appears with blue dots around the edge. That means we can change the size of the actual object. I always find when dealing with 2D objects that the Rect tool is the best tool to use to manipulate our size. However, if you don't feel comfortable with that, you can change it here in the transform component. You'll notice that this is called a Rect transform component, not just a standard transform component like in other game objects. Anyway, let's set this as 0 on the X and 0 on the Y. There is a Z axis, but don't worry too much about that. We can change it. However, this is just basically scaling the size of the object because it is going back and forth. So although it is a 2D plane, the canvas, we can work in the third dimension, as you can see. However, I wouldn't really recommend it because there are other things that you can do. And when it comes to the game view, you can see it doesn't make too much of a difference anyway. So let's set this back to 0. Back on the scene view, you'll notice this icon here, middle, center. This is the anchoring point. Now, an anchoring point is crucial when it comes to scaling correctly inside the canvas. For example, at the moment it's set dead center. That means that no matter what the screen size, this new text object will always display dead center, whether it is a huge screen or a little screen. However, if we have it set as top left, then it will not always appear in the center. A good way of detecting this is if we take the Game tab, drag it to its own individual object and then increase the size, you'll see that yes, it does indeed stay there. However, we can move this around so it changes position. You can see it's now changed its position to just here and not center. That is because it is trying to keep its logical point of reference in the top left. So whenever you create anything inside the canvas, always be wary of your anchoring point. And if you have UI that appears in wrong places at any point, you'll always have to reference this anchoring point. It's always crucial. So as a good example, something like your reticule in the center of your screen, your cursor, that will always be anchored dead center. Something like HP could always be anchored at the top left or top bottom. And then your objectives can always be anchored in the top right or bottom right. You can also stretch across the screen as well. So if we select the stretch tool right here and go to game view, we can see it's just normal. However, if you change it, you're going to see that it looks like the font size has increased. That's because it is stretching the actual object to be roughly the same size as what it would be on any size screen. This is more apparent when you use other text objects inside the canvas. Like I say, there are plenty of things that you can do further. You can pivot objects as well in the canvas, and you can use all this information to kind of give an effect of perhaps animation inside the canvas, but it's not really necessary. The other things that you can do is you can insert other UI elements. So let's insert a raw image, for example. You can see it's appeared just there. Let's set the anchoring of this to stretch. And let's now play with this and let's have it 0 on the left and 0 on the right. And you can see that no matter what, this line will go all the way across your screen. No matter how wide your screen is, it should adjust. There we go. So no matter how small your screen is, it will adjust. There we go. So as I said, anchoring can actually be quite detrimental to what you're trying to do sometimes because it can be so easy to insert a UI element and forget about the anchoring. So just keep in mind how important it can be because you can basically anchor it to any position, stretch it any direction as well, which is always quite handy. If we go to Game Object, go to UI again and go to Panel. This kind of stretches all the way across the screen, but you'll notice that this is kind of translucent. And this is a good indication of what you can do with the colours as well, because if we take this colour and change it to black, you can see just how much of an impact it'll have on your game. Changing the alpha down here will obviously change it completely, like so. So depending on what kind of effect you want to add to your game using only UI, like for example, we've given our game a green overview now, so like a poisonous kind of environment overview, and we haven't actually used any light at all. If we zoom into our sphere, for example, it's still all just normal. The canvas can be used as an overlay as well, which is very, very handy. So next time what we'll do is we will go back to our text right here that we can't really see now because the raw image and panel is in the way, so let's get rid of those. And what we'll do is we will allow this text to change via C# coding. We'll basically make sure that we can change text or anything via C#. So remember to subscribe, click that notification bell, and you can stay up to date with every tutorial. I'll see you next time.